Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the dining room of the 1925 bungalow. I'm Scott. I certainly hope all of you are having a wonderful Monday evening, and I hope you haven't eaten too much leftover Halloween candy. I haven't. Okay, there we go. I wanted that to be a little bit larger. Well, we'll give that a second. I believe I have gone live just a moment or two on the early side. Well, it says 8 p.m. Well, that's all right. Let me adjust this camera just a little bit. And I guess we have some decent lighting here. Well, I am thrilled and excited to have you here tonight. I can't believe this is the third EAPG extravaganza, the third. And it won't be the last, because I have to tell you, I did not realize until I went down into that basement and started unpacking everything that I've got enough currently to do a fourth and probably a fifth. But we've got so many other things to get through before we start thinking about a fourth or a fifth. Because I'd like to tell you that tonight, in case you're coming here to the live sale and are not sure exactly what's going to take place, this is an all early American pattern glass or pressed glass sale. I've got 32 lots to get through tonight. I think we're going to go a little bit past 10 o'clock, but we will move at a pretty good clip. Next week is the Two Chaps live sale. That's just me and David. And then the third Monday night in November, which I believe is the 17th. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong. That's going to be a Christmas glass sale. And honestly, most of that glass will be 20th century glass. The vast majority of the glass this evening is 19th century glass. Some of the earliest pieces from the 1870s, but the EAPG era runs into about 1910, 1915. It's really kaput by the First World War. And so there's lots to come in this particular month of November. I hope you'll stay tuned to the OCS and find out what's happening. I'm looking down here. I'm going to be looking in two different places. Here where I'm broadcasting, and then down here. So if you see me look down, I'll be down here doing some things on the computer, typing in the starting prices and thus and such. And if you have any questions at all, my partner in this adventure has been Karen Williams. She is going to really be having her eye and helping out with questions that are in the chat. So I have to tell you that we're really going to be focused on the glass here. And if you've got any questions about anything that I'm selling tonight, please don't hesitate to throw it right there into the chat box and allow Karen to give the answers. All right. I will be putting in the starts. Karen will be putting in the stops. Okay. Now, since we've got 32 lots to get through tonight, there will be what I call hard stops. That keeps it moving. That keeps us moving. Because if I hold an item up and talk sufficiently about it and there's no interest or no bids, we're going to say stop, we move on. any bids that come in after the word stop, even if there were no bids before it, we're moving along and we can bring those pieces back at the end, because I want us to be able to get through as much glass as we can. So don't feel Sam Drucker. Don't feel who was Sam Drucker? The store manager on something, I think. Anyway, we want to be able to offer as many pieces of glass as possible. Not move too fast, but keep it moving. Purdy Pansy, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me put a little bit of that family history in there. It's something I don't talk about much, but people have always asked me, where does this love of glass come from? And I had put that little blurb, in case you're wondering, I put a video out today sort of showing the background of preparing for tonight. And I also put a little family history in of my great-grandfather on my mother's paternal side and my great-great-grandfather on my mother's maternal side, who both worked in the glass industry from the 1880s until the 1950s when they died. And I appreciate you letting me share that with you. I really just don't ever talk about that. But early American pressed glass, pattern glass, all factory produced. This gave the common folk the ability to have beautiful tableware if they could not afford the expensive cut crystal, which is called American Brilliant Cut. And I'm holding up an an EAPG piece right here. You know, I've got 6 of these for sale, including that one. That's the sixth one. That's what it looks like without any liquid in it. These actually date back to 1900. That's the year 1900. That's when these were introduced to the American market, 1900. And I've got 6 of these. But in the spirit of the evening, we'll have a sip of that. We do have a little bit of everything. I've got celeries and pitchers and butter dishes and ice cream trays and water trays and tumblers and creams and sugars and whatnot. Oh my word, it's all here. And at the very end of the show tonight, if there is anything that you're looking for, like, hey, Scott, you know, I need a vegetable bowl. You got one? I've got glass all over the floor. And I'll be able to pick something up and bring it and say, here's another piece, just in case anybody needs another piece. You can use this glass. Don't put it in a china closet and say, don't touch. You use it. And if it gets chipped, it gets chipped. Right? Okay. Don't be afraid of it. Now, don't put it in microwaves and don't put it in dishwashers. Let's get a couple of things out of the way. And you guys in the chat can help me out a lot. Let's deal with the glow thing. No. All right. Yes, no, no. This glass does not contain the uranium like the green glass of the Depression era that really makes it glow green. Okay. If you put a black light on these, you get the palest, palest, palest little wimpy, tiny little bit of green. This isn't the kind of glass that you put in a china closet and put a black light on. It does not show up beautifully green the way the 1930s glass does. But yes, if you put a black light on most of this, you'll get the faintest little hint of green, but it's not even worth mentioning. So that gets that out of the way. If we have a lot of people asking during the sale, does it glow? Does it glow? Let me see here. Oh, well, the clock, where are we? Okay, the clock is a little slow. It's just chiming 8 o'clock now. Okay, well, anyway. Howdy to everybody. Howdy to everybody. I'm so glad you're all here. And I need the red pearl and oyster bowl. The red pearl and oyster bowl. Oh, the Fenton. Well, anyway, we'll get to all of that. We're gonna get if there's anything red here, and it's EAPG. We've got it. Okay. My goodness, we have got so many companies are represented here, and I've got it all written down. Now, I almost forgot. I do want to tell you this. Everything that you purchased tonight, for example, let's say you are the winner of that particular piece of glass. You will receive one of these little sheets, and it will tell you who made it, what the pattern is called. If the company had a pattern name, they might have just had a mold number. This might be mold number 222. Well, you'll get that information too. We'll tell you what year it was introduced to the market. Yeah, so you'll have that. And anything that's interesting, you'll get all of those pieces of paper. I've got them all right here. I've got 32 of them, and I've printed them all out from the database. Karen and I worked feverishly on this. So you'll get this. And that's because if you'd like to give a piece of glass such as this as a gift, you might enjoy, now this is just, dumb black and white copy paper, but you could write on a little note card, the pattern, the name, the maker. What a nice gift to give, heirloom gift to give someone with the provenance. Now, I guess I shouldn't say provenance because I don't know who owned it, but I do know that when it was made, who made it, and thus and such, the town that it was made in. So all of that information you're going to get with each piece of glass. So I hope you'll like that. Let's see here. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you enjoyed the video today. Thank you. I can only catch some of the questions and things as they go by. Some of the companies that are represented: Imperial, Campbell, Bryce, Lion, Bel Air, Westmoreland, Indiana, Cambridge, Duncan, Fostoria, Huntington, United States Glass, Attleberry, McKee. We even have one piece of glass that was manufactured in Nova Scotia. Okay, so we have one piece that still happens to be on the database. Now, if you're wondering where this information comes from, this information comes from the Early American Pattern Glass Database, which is a wonderful resource. A lot of you are familiar with it, conversant with it. You've got to know what you're doing when you're on. They have wonderful search engines. And I recommend anybody to go to it, but really spend some time on it. If you're interested in EAPG, you can learn so much about this glass. And that database is maintained with the utmost integrity of scholarly research. So this isn't, well, I think it is, or it could be, or it looks like, or my daughter-in-law told me that her uncle had one. No, we know what this glass is because the information comes from the actual catalogs, the company documents that exist, if they still exist. What was the number one way glass companies ended up folding? They burnt down. They kept the furnaces going 24 hours a day, and so many of them burnt down, and so there are a lot of companies that everything was burnt up. But anyway, so the knowledge that's on that website is accurate, and if there are mistakes, they get corrected. So it's a wonderful group of people that are passionate about this glass, and they study it. And Karen and I have been known to spend hours and hours and hours. No, it can't be. Yes, it looks like, wait, but we love it. And so this doesn't happen quickly. It takes time, and it is so much fun. So I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed and how much I want to thank, how much I would like to thank Karen Williams for all of her assistance. Gee, this has been a blast. It is almost 8:15, and we're going to get started right now. So I'm going to once again welcome everyone. We have 300 folks. Let me refresh. Let me turn that off. Let me expand. Give me just one moment so I can expand my comments down here. And then that way I can get a better look at you. So if you'll bear with me just a moment. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Okie doke. And Karen, if I forget anything, you just jump right in there and straighten me out. Okay. Okie doke. So the first item we're going to start with has a opening. We're going to start out this. Give us a minute to get some. Okay, so we're going to start off at $18 on the first item. And once we get the ball rolling here, we'll keep things moving. You know, it takes a minute to get everything started. Oh, I will say this. Nothing here has any serious condition problems. We have no sick glass. I won't sell it. We have no glass with significant chips. I won't sell it. Do we have a piece here and there with a flea bite or slightly larger than a flea bite, which would be a small chip? Yes, and I'll try to point that out. Nothing is cracked and nothing much more serious than a flea bite or just a little bit larger here and there. So I just want you to know that that's the quality of the glass that's here tonight. Okay, 305 people, 816, get with it. Starting at $18. The first piece that we have, I hope the lighting is good, a lovely pitcher. I love how small it is. This was made by the Imperial Glass Company. It is mold number 300 by the Imperial Glass Company of Bel Air, Ohio. That company operated from 1904 until 1984. This is circa 1906. That's when it was introduced. And this is an individual item, not part of a line. This lovely little pitcher. This pitcher was not in Imperial's first catalog, but it did, which was 1904, 1905, but it does appear in their second catalog, 1906. And so the scholarship is that this would have been introduced to the market in 1906. And this pitcher holds, I did test this one. That holds 8 ounces. I can get 3 of those in here. So 3 times 8 is what? I don't like math. That's how much this will hold. In terms of ounces. And I like the small size of it because some of these pitchers weigh, and I just washed this one again, some of these things weigh, 50 pounds empty. So, yes, I know. So there we are. 24-ounce pitcher, and I know you're all I know what 3 times 8 is. I was kidding, and you're not bidding $24. I know you're all putting in 24 ounces. Yes, so that's what that is. Imperial Glass. We're looking for an opening bid of 18, and we've got it. We're moving along. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on this lovely circa 1906 Imperial Glass pitcher, which is going to be on somebody's table. I don't know what no bidding means. What do you mean, all in the attic treasures, when you say no bidding? I'm not sure what that is. We'll wait for Karen to put our stop in. And while we're waiting for that, it is in. And if you'll back me up, Karen, it looks like Cynthia McWhorter at 25. And if folks, I am so appreciative of everyone's help, but if Karen and I make a mistake, you can tell us, but let us go ahead and call our winners. And so we don't confuse anybody. And it looks like Cynthia McWhorter at 25. So thank you, Cynthia. Oh, I got you. Okay. Oh, it's Digger Steve. Okay, well, what was his, hold on. So it's not Cynthia. What was it? Let me back up then. He must have had a higher bid prior to the $25. Oh, she wasn't bidding. Okay, don't tell me this is going to be another one of those nights where I can't see people. Hold on, everybody. I need to just do a little refresh. Just give me just a second. Just a second. Make sure. The other night, YouTube was giving everybody these really weird numbers after their names. There it is. Very strange. Okay, I see that now. So sorry, Cynthia. I congratulated you, but it is Kentucky Digger Steve at 26. Hang in there. You know what, Cynthia? I have 20 other pictures. We'll find one for you. My mistake. Kentucky Steve. Okay. This should go a little bit faster now. All right, let's go to another picture. This is the second picture we're going to have tonight, and this one is going to start at $18. And I'm just putting in, when you're in the chat, I'm not going to put the dollar sign in, but anytime you see me in yellow and a number, that's the starting price of it. Thank you, Cynthia. Look at this one. Look at that flower on there. Okay, this one starts at, and when we turn it around, there's a flower on this side as well. Now, I didn't put any water in this. Again, that's 8 ounces. You can see that's about the same size as the other one. So that's probably going to hold about 24 ounces. Made by Campbell and Jones and Company. This is mold number 86. That's the original manufacturer's name. They were located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. No surprise there. They operated from 1865 until 1886. And this was introduced in 1886, so their very last year. It's also known as Rose Sprig. Now, there's an interesting note about this one, and I'll turn it around so you can see it. There's the bottom of it, and the embossed flowers are on both sides. Pretty little thing, not terribly heavy. Remember, there isn't any lead in this, so it's going to be much lighter than the American Brilliant Cut. This started with Campbell and Jones, who obtained a patent for a process to make a sleigh-shaped dish, which shows this pattern on May the 25th, 1886. After a reorganization in 1886, the firm's name was changed to Jones, Cabot and Company. They continued production of the former company, and in reality likely made the lion's share of this pattern. So it's attributed to Campbell and Jones, 1886. We have opening bids of $18. Yolanda now is at 19, and we'll count this one down. This is absolutely chip-free, and it's just lovely. And it's not too huge, so this is nice for maybe a small family. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. On the 1886 Campbell and Jones. They didn't give it a name. It's only mold number 86. And again, the winner, everything I just said, you get that. so that if you're going to give this away as a gift, again, or keep it for yourself, you'll have the history, a little bit of provenance on it. There's the stop. And did Kentucky Digger Steve pick up another one? Yeah, that one's at 26. Thank you, Karen. And thank you, Kentucky Digger Steve. Now, starting at $20, our next offering, we're going to take a break on pictures for a minute, and we're going to offer 4 celeries individually, not choice, but 4 of them. And all of them are going to start at $20. Each one of these celeries. None of them are sick. I'm happy to tell you none of them are sick. This is my little numbering system. I pull that out. Okay. We've talked so much about celeries. If you have a question like, what is a celery? Someone can tell you in the chat. If you have more questions than other than this would sit on Victorian and Edwardian tables, and celery was in it. Make sure you're in live chat, everyone. That may be why you don't see it. A lot of folks are saying, I don't see him, I don't see him, I don't see him. Make sure you're in live chat instead of top chat. Some things you'll miss. PA Buzzard has the opening bid of 20. This is this pattern is called, hold on for 1 second. Okay. Live chat. I'm just going to keep going. Yeah. It's live. It's live chat. Go to live chat, and you should be able to see it. Not everybody has all messages. That's going away for some. Maltese is the original manufacturer's name. This is made by Bryce Walker and Company. You okay, Karen? You got your hands full. I can see that. Folks, if you see someone coming out of order, you've got to hit refresh. But you've also got to remember that you're going to see your own name first. Okay. All right. This is pretty, isn't it? Look at that design on that celery. Okay. Guess what? Made by Bryce Walker and Company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1865 to 1882. This was introduced in 1876, the year of the centennial, right? The big centennial. It's also known as Jacob's Ladder. This actually has a patent number. This was patented. A lot of these patterns were, but that didn't stop companies from robbing and stealing like dogs to try to copy each other, to try to get rid of to overcome patent rights. So this was patented, patent number. Anyway, it was patented on June the 13th, 1876 by John Bryce. Pieces are known in crystal, blue, amber, canary, and amethyst. This one, as we can see, is in crystal. Crystal meaning clear glass, not that there's any lead content in it. Okay, so the bid right now, I think, is at 26. And this needs a little more cleaning down in the bottom. There's a little, I didn't get all the way down in there, but it's not sick. We'll count this celery down. This is just beautiful. And again, patented, documented patent date of 1876. Next year, we're getting ready to have those, what is it? Not Sesquicentennial. We did this once before. Anyway, move along. Count it down. 10. I think the high bid might be 26. 10, 9. I don't want to get off on tangents. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, see, 2, 1. That's it. If somebody turns on an oscillating fan and blows all my papers on the floor, I can put them all back in order again. That's not going to be a problem. Okay, you get out of the way. I've got 3 more celeries. Remember, each one of these celeries is going to start at 20 bucks. And celery number 4. Okay. There. The stop is in, and I think it's Patsy M48. I am so glad that you guys appreciate this glass as much as I do. I really am. Thank you, Patsy, and thank you everyone who placed bids on that. Okay, next up, we've got another one. This is pretty. Let me get my number out of there. Another celery, which starts at $20. Do I need to put that in there? I guess. Karen says, put it in. I'm telling you. All right, there it is. I know that she needs to see that. So $20 is the start. This is made by Lyon and Company. Yeah, Lyon. Okay. This is mold number 3. And I believe the pattern name is New York. Now, that's the original name given to it by the manufacturer, but it's also known sometimes as honeycomb by collectors. How does that happen? Well, it happens because, people wouldn't know, the scholarship wasn't there 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and people made up names. And so it sticks. So the original company didn't call it honeycomb. The pattern was referred to as New York. Now that company was in Pittsburgh, and they operated from 1852 to 1875. This was introduced in the 1860s. Can you just imagine? Now we know what happened in 1860, and we know what happened in 1865. This was there. I hold a piece of glass like this and I think, introduced in 1860, the Civil War started in 1860. My goodness, how exciting is that? So there it is. It's a celery vase, and again, you're getting all that information with it. All right, PA Buzzard has a bid of 25. Because I enlarged, I can't really see, and things go fast here. So if I miss something, Karen will straighten me out, and I appreciate that. Let's count this down. There are no questions. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. For a celery dish that was introduced to the market at the beginning of the Civil War, 1860. Oh, my gosh. Where does all this glass come from? Well, I live in one of the original 13 colonies, as you know. And it's here. The stop is in, and it looks like PA Buzzard might have come in after the stop, so I'll let Karen make sure that I'm correct with Kentucky Digger Steve at 26. I may have to drive out to Kentucky. Steve at 26. Thank you. Okay, we've got $20 on the next celery. Oh yes, modern day celery. You didn't see you must not have watched me. Yeah, I'm just teasing you. I had 4 celeries up there on that china closet, filled with water and filled with celery. It's back in the video archive. You can find it if you want to. Yeah, okay. This one, I love this one too. This one starts at $20. Let me get the 20 in there. Look at that stem. Oh my gosh. We've got so much, we're going to go past 10 o'clock. $20 on this celery. Look how crystal clear that is. Somebody asked me earlier, am I going to have any flint glass? Flint is usually heavier and very brilliant. Some of this is old enough to be flint, but you don't really see much flint after the war. Civil War, not World War I. Bel Air goblet, number 279, by the Bel Air Goblet Company of Findlay, Ohio. They operated from 1876 until 1891. And we know what happened in 1891. We learned that in the first and second show. There were so many companies, it was time for consolidation. And so the United States Glass Company is formed, and it consolidates 18 factories, and they were spread over several states. Can you imagine trying to run 18 factories, some in Pennsylvania, some in Ohio, some in Virginia? In 1891, with no cell phones or no computers or no, even telephones aren't widely. Yeah, well, that's what happened. So when you hear that the glass, you'll hear 1891 quite a lot. And but anyway, this piece was introduced in 1888. It's also known as thumbprint or twist stem. No surprise there. Look at that stem. All right, so again, this one starts at $20. I don't see any interest in that. We're going to give it another. Yes, I think we do. Okay, I think we do see that in there. And again, this is a celery vase. And I do see the bid. Yeah, I love that stem. PA Buzzard has a bid of 27. That might be where we are with the high bid. And we'll count this one down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on that celery vase. We only got one more celery tonight. I've got more in the basement, but I don't want to kill you with celeries. Not tonight. Okay, so we're going to wait for the stop to come in, and then we're going to move on to item number 6, which it looks like this one is going to go to, I don't see that stop yet. Okay, let me hit. There it is. And good heavens, we've got 357 folks. I'm so thrilled. Is it PA Buzzard at 32? Ah, there's the train. Did you hear the train whistle? That's the commuters heading home late. I'm only a few blocks away from the railroad track. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Even with the windows closed, you can hear the train. I love to lie in bed and I hear that clock tick and I hear that old train. Okay, my first celery. Oh, right, PA Buzzard, that is fantastic. You got a great one. That stem on that celery. Woo! Okay, starting at $20 is the next one. Good grief, that's number 6. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. I'm going to only sell one of these tonight. I've got 2 of them, but I'm only selling one tonight. The second one is down in the basement. We'll maybe see that some other time. Lion and Company, number 9, the O'Hara pattern, and that's what the company called it. It's also known as Seneca Loop, okay? But the company called it O'Hara. They were located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1852 until 1875. This was introduced in 1861. Lincoln was in the White House. Mr. Lincoln was in the White House when this piece of glass was introduced. Jenny Lind had already done her American tour. We're going to hear about Jenny Lind a little bit later on in the show. My goodness. Sandra Norden has a bid of 30. That might be the high bid at the moment. Again, this is the last celery that we'll have tonight. This celery, we will count this one down. Yes, indeed, water was put in it. Celery stalks put in these. This would sit out on the table. Not everybody could afford celery. It's not like today. You couldn't just run down to Wawa and get some. It was a luxury. It was expensive. And you were showing off. Not only do I have the money to buy celery, I have the money to buy a piece of glass, specialty glass, just to hold my celery. And that's what those old Victorians and Edwardians would do. There's a spot up at the top for the live chat. Cynthia, go all the way up to the top of the chat. Just scroll all the way up to the top of the chat and you ought to be able to see it. I'm glad you asked. Let's count this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Remember, there's always a lag. Don't be shy. If you see something you like, just jump right in there. We'll move that celery out of the way. And this might be Vintage Soul 99. We'll wait and see for the stop to come in. And if it is, be a good time to remind everybody. There's the stop. And I think our highest bid is 40 on that piece. And I don't think I'm familiar with Vintage Soul. So I am glad to learn you. To meet you. And let's see, that was Vintage Soul. Okay. Vintage Soul, you're new. A round of applause for the new and reverse, reverse, reverse. Okay. And let's give a round of applause to the old folk too. And Karen and everybody else. And yesterday in church was All Saints Day. So a round of applause for them too. Now, my email is above, Old Soul. I'm going to need a lot of information from you. I need your full name, not in the chat, but in the email, your full name, your mailing address. You've got to tell me if you have a PayPal account or not. If you don't have one, that's no problem because I can still invoice you as a guest, but I will invoice you through PayPal. If you have a PayPal account, make sure you tell me what your email address is, the one that you used when you created your PayPal account, because I need that email address in order to send you a correct, what do you call it, invoice. And if you can send that to me during the show tonight, that would be fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, so well, I think everybody's helping someone figure out how to make sure they're in all top live chat. That's great. Everybody's so helpful. I'm going to take a sip and we're going to move on to some toys. What? You heard me. Scott, they didn't give this glass to children as toys. Oh, yes, they did. Your great-great-grandparents played with little things like that. Look at that little cute little thing. Okay, that cutie is going to start at $8. We've got some more toys. We're going to do all the toys right now. Look, let me get the number out. Look at that little thing. No chips or cracks. It's a little covered sugar bowl. Now, let's talk about it. This is Thumbelina by the Westmoreland, we know them, specialty company of Grapeville, Pennsylvania. Drove right through it when I was on my way to Pittsburgh. They operated from 1889 until 1924. This was introduced in 1910. So we're at the very, very close to the end of what would be the EAPG era. And this was for children to play with. And they could get an entire table set. Yeah. Cream sugar. Right? Pitchers. And they would be taught to play with this to mimic the adults. You know, little tea parties. Thumbelina is an AKA for a series and also known as series of Westmoreland toy glass pieces. The toy table set, this toy table set with handled sugar and spooner, we don't have the spooner, was designated as mold number 299. Then there's one without handles, and they reissued it in milk glass in the 1950s. So this was originally produced in clear glass only. That's how we know that's not a reproduction. If you have this in milk glass, it was reproduced in the 1950s. What was Westmoreland known for in the 1950s? You said it. Milk glass. And they were still Westmoreland, of course, as we know, the specialty company operated until 1924, but the Westmoreland Glass Company continued. It was Hazel Marie Weatherman, good old Hazel Marie. She coined the phrase Thumbelina in the 1970s. Hazel Marie wrote some of the earliest depression glass books. If you can get your hands on any, one was gifted to me. I think Carmen gave me one a few years ago. And in the 70s, my goodness, Hazel, there's no internet. So you got to name something. So she named it Thumbelina. Future scholarship would prove that it was simply not named anything by Westmoreland except line number 303. Okay, enough. It's cute. 10, 9. You get all of that. 8. And the neat thing is, now that you've got one piece and all this history here, you can go out and try to find the rest of the pieces that went with the little toy set. That'll keep you busy. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, wait a minute, 5, put that number back in there, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's it on that little thing. All right, now you get over there and don't cause any problems. Oh, the next piece we've got, hoy, this thing drove me and Karen up a wall, but we finally figured it out. Okay, the stop is in, and the little toy, I believe, goes to Christina, and that would be, and I know which Christina you are with all those A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I know who you are, Christina, and you got good taste. Let's see. I think it was Christina. Thank you. Okay. How are we doing? Are we doing okay? Is everybody okay? Are we doing all right? Is the show going all right? Give me a little feedback. Just is everything going all right? Christina. It's going okay. Thank you. Okay, it's going all right. All right. It's 7:45. We're going to be here for a little while. Okay, this thing annoyed the. Okay, this one starts at $10. Look. Now, I have this in the toy category because when I first found this and sent a picture to Karen, she and I both went, "Oh, how cute. Look at that little toy." We both assumed it was a little tiny toy tureen. I mean, look how small that is. It's, 5x4. It's not a toy. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, I think. Well, I don't think. I now know. But Karen and I were befuddled and bewildered. Not a toy. What is it? The pattern is called Elite. That's the original manufacturer's name, Westmoreland Specialty Company of Grapeville, Pennsylvania. Guess what? It's not a covered sugar bowl. That's another good guess. Again, they operated from 1889 to 1924. This was introduced in 1896, aka Pillow and Sunburst. In the original catalogs, are you ready? Now you got to back me up on this, Karen. No, it was called a covered bonbon. Now, a bonbon is a confection that's about the size of a quarter. You know what a bonbon is. You ain't going to get very many bonbons in that. This thing measures, you say, that can't be right. Well, guess what? We measured it. And the nice thing about going back to the old catalogs is they have measurements. So guess what? Here it is on the database. There is a drawing of it from the original from the catalog in 1902, and they listed it as a covered bonbon. So I need to do some more studying. I don't know if, okay, what do we, I don't know if there were like individual bonbons on the table for people, but you aren't going to get much candy in that. But that's what it was manufactured as, marketed as, and sold as a bonbon, not a toy. So fantastic. M&Ms, yeah. You know, a bonbon, you know, it's about that tall, about the size of a marshmallow. Maybe a little bit smaller than a marshmallow, but let's, you know. Anyway, so you're not going to get many in there. Let's count it down after all that talking. But I was just fascinated that that's, I would have never guessed. Yeah, Jana Lantham. I would have never guessed bonbon either. We were both footed bonbon. We were both very surprised that that's what it was listed as in the catalog. 10, I don't know if we have any bids or not. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. I think it's adorable as a little covered tureen, you know, for the kitty cat. But they wouldn't want to eat out of that because their whiskers would touch the sides of it. And a cat does not want its whiskers to touch anything while it is eating. All right, so that's it on that little bonbon. And guess what? I got another one in the basement. We'll sell that some other time. Yeah, I'm always out buying. I can't believe I have another one. But I'm not going to sell another one tonight. Okay, the bonbon goes to, we're going to have to make up time because I talked a lot about that. But you're okay when I talk about these things, right? You want to know the history? One time somebody said, you know, come on, move it along, quit talking. Well, I'm here to learn from you. And I'm also here for us all to learn together. So you want a bonbon now? There's the stop. And is it Kentucky Digger? I guess I'm driving to Kentucky, Mr. Steve, at 30. I think that's the winner. Kentucky Steve. And you go, Tina. Oh, wait. Oh, the history. Wait, it's going too fast. Yeah. Norma, learning. Okay, thank you. So I appreciate you. I appreciate that feedback. I try not to talk too. If I talk a lot, I am excited about what I'm talking about. You know, I want to talk about the glass. Okay, now let's stick with the toys again. We're going to go back to the toys. I've got 2 toys we're going to sell together. These are going to start at $18, but you're going to get 2 pieces. Let's get this in here. You're going to get 2 pieces for $18, and I am thrilled to tell you right now that this is 9A and 9B. You don't need to know that, but Karen and I need to know it. All right. There is, my watch is doing strange things. There's the butter dish. This is a toy. Okay. That's for a child. That's for an adult. You see the difference in scale now? Okay, we're going to get to adult butter dishes in a minute. $20, whatever I told you. No, what did I tell you? I think I told you 18. Whatever I put in. Yeah, it starts at 18. The butter dish and the matching pitcher. Look at that. These were both made by the same company and they are the same pattern. This is part of the set. Now, we have the butter dish and the pitcher. Just go out and find the cream and sugar and you'll have a little play set introduced in 1910. Guess who made it? The Indiana Glass Company. Now again, you're getting both pieces. Aren't these cute? Can't you see a little Victorian girl or boy, but probably girl, sitting at a little table with a bisque doll in 1910, listening to some ragtime probably, and playing with this. You should have heard Karen squeal when she saw this little tiny picture. Yeah, look at her. That little picture is so sweet. Okay. Indiana Glass Company mold number 300. Indiana Glass Company of Dunkirk, Indiana. They operated from 1904 until 2002. This is also known as oval and star. Everything in this pattern is a child's toy. Nothing in this pattern was adult size, according to the scholarship at the EAPG website. I think it's fantastic that designers sat down and came up with a specific pattern just for children. This would mimic patterns similar to what the adults would have. There's the butter dish. You can't. You simply can't. And there's the picture. So, adorable. I think the high bid now is maybe $28. Christina, again, you're getting both pieces. And with it, you'll get this sheet, which has the butter dish on it and all the information. This sheet, which has the picture on it. Yeah, with all the information. You see all of that. You get all of that with it. Let's count them down. 10, 9, so much glass to get through. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And that's it for the toys. We're coming up to a covered cream and sugar. We're going to wait for the stop and we'll announce the winner of the, good heavens, it's already 9 o'clock. Well, I told you we're going to be here for a little while. It's probably going to be about 10:15 before we wrap everything up, but I'll try my best to. Oh, Elena Cunningham bids $342. Woo! We're in the money. I'm just kidding. I know that was a mistake. Okay, there's the stop. And is it Christina at 45? Thank you, Randy, for telling me that I'm moving it along. I appreciate your feedback. It's Christina on Staten Island. I'm sorry, Christina, for just announcing to everybody where you're from, but you don't have to. Not that there's anything wrong with being from Staten Island. It's lovely. My I had some of my Germans came in and landed on Staten Island and got married there. Okay, let's keep going. So Staten Island is lovely. I just didn't know if she wanted me to throw that information out there. Let me have a sip. I'm selling 6 of these coming up later. These are from 1900. 1900. Okay. Next up, starting at, oh gosh, where are we? Starting at $25 on this next set. Yowzer. This is nice. And I'm going to tell you why. Some sugar bowls were open, some had lids. Do you know how hard it is? I sound like I'm getting ready to sing the blues. Do you know? Nobody knows. Well, go and see how easy it is to find a covered sugar bowl with its lid and matching pitcher. There they are. It ain't easy. This was introduced in 1909, made by the Cambridge Glass Company. And you know what? If it was made by Cambridge in 1909, we can expect to look inside and find the words near cut. And you're not going to be able to see it, but way down in there is embossed near cut. McKee did it too, but they had to call it, I think they called it press cut. There was near cut, press cut, art cut, deep cut. Cambridge Glass mold number 2699 Buzz Saw by the Cambridge Glass Company of Cambridge, Ohio, operated from 1902 to 1958. I think they burnt, did they burn? I know they went out of business. Introduced in 1909. Interesting note, the Miami Valley Study Group indicates that the Buzz Saw line was introduced for the 1909 selling season. And the selling season typically would be in the autumn season, you know. So unbelievable. No chips, no cracks. Look at the picture. It's what you see, the paper in there. There's the creamer, rather, sorry, and the covered sugar bowl made by Cambridge Glass Company. They are both stamped with veneer cut on the inside and introduced in 1909. 90% of the creams and sugars that I find are missing a cream or a sugar. They don't match, and there's never a lid. So I flipped my lid, no pun intended. Counting it down, 10, 9, 8, 7. I have to put 1 down so I can count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. There it is. I don't know when I'm going to have another covered cream and sugar that's more than 100 years old in that condition. I just don't know. The stop is in, and it looks like Norma at 53, I think. Let's wait and see if Cynthia came in. She has 54, but she might have come in after the stop. So we're going to wait for just a second and double check that one. And then the next item is going to start at 20. So it's Norma at 53. And I know, Norma, you and I are going to connect. Cambridge, that was 53. 50. Oops, now that would be, yeah, that's just what I need for that pen to run out of ink. 53. Okay, thanks, Norma, and everyone else who placed bids. I appreciate it. The next item starts at $20, and it is this beautiful little guy right here. My goodness, you are handsome. Look at that. I want to try to speed it up. I need to make up a little bit of time, so don't be shy. If you want to place a bid, place it. That's a covered sugar bowl, right? It is. Duncan & Sons and Company, number 20. This was introduced in 1894. 2 years after the murder of Mr. and Mrs. Borden in Fall River, Massachusetts, to put it into perspective. Also known as Graded Diamond and Sunburst, Specialty Glass Company came out with an almost identical pattern called Panova in 1895. But this is Duncan & Sons, George & Company. It's a covered sugar, just the sugar, but that's great. You're going to be able to find the creamer. It's a lot easier to find a creamer to go with it than to find the sugar bowl with the lid. That's the money piece right there. So if you think that's beautiful and you want to try to get the sugar bowl with it, now you know what it is, and you can go track it down. Duncan & Sons, number 20, mold number 20. Introduced in 1894 is this beautiful covered sugar bowl. And isn't that nice? That can even be a candy dish if you'd like. You know, I think that, because it doesn't, I mean, it's almost candy dish looking. 10, 9, I told you we're going to try to make up some time here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the Duncan sugar bowl with a lid. Now we're going to get into some colored glass. And so our next start is going to be $20. I know we're still waiting for the stop. I'm sorry, Karen. I think I must have I jumped the gun by putting my next. We'll wait for the stop on that. It might be Lou.G. And that picture looks familiar, but I don't recognize that Lou.G. But I might know you. Anyway, whoever you are, I think it's yours at 30. Just remember, everybody, I'll just go ahead and say this. Is it Lou.G? Okay, it is. I will be sending out invoices at some point tomorrow. It might not be at the crack of dawn, but if you don't hear from me by dinner time tomorrow, please write to me, because that means I can't get you for some reason. But I'm oldcuriositysshop99@gmail.com. So if you don't get an invoice, please reach out to me. And where is number? Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, here you are. Okay. Okay. Next up, we do have this. We're starting at $20. Now let's get some pieces that have some color to them. This has a wonderful. Now let's not go down the garden path of ruby flashed, stained. Okay, some pieces are ruby flashed, like that one, and some have what they would call ruby blush or ruby stain. We won't take too much time talking about that, but it's not. So in other words, this did not once look like that, and then somebody scrubbed the color off. That is the way the piece was made. I've got several pieces of ruby stained. Yeah. Okay. And this also has a little bit of gilding around the top, although it might be hard to see. Okay, so let me show you this. It is chip-free and crack-free. We already said it started at $20. This is made by Fostoria. It's number 789. Wedding Bells is the original manufacturer's name. Fostoria operated in Moundsville, West Virginia from 1887. Sorry about that. From 1887 until 1986. This was introduced in 1900, and it is the Master Berry Bowl minus the 6 little dessert bowls, which we don't have. But isn't that beautiful for the holiday season? That is the big Master Berry Bowl, 8 inches across, right? There it is. And there are all the little, that's the little bowl that would go with it. So again, you get this information. Any questions about that? It really is pretty. And you'll, as I said, you'll hear either ruby stained or ruby blush, you know, rose blush. And all the different companies had these funny little names. We'll count this down. Fostoria, I can't believe it. 10, introduced in 1900, 125 years old. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. It's even going to get prettier. So hold your breath, or don't hold your breath. You're going to pass out. All right. We'll wait for the stop. Where am I? Good grief. Okay. So that piece, that Fostoria piece, goes to. We're waiting for the stop. And I believe it's PA Buzzard at 36. And I want to thank everyone who bid. And if I made a mistake, I'll let Karen correct me. But thank you so much, PA Buzz. And everyone else who was interested in that. Oh, she says no. What I meant, oh, Glennie got it at 40. Got it. See it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Sorry, PA Buzzard, but I do see Glennie. At 40. All right, the next piece starts at $24. This might be one of my favorite pieces of the night. I don't know. This starts at 24. No chips, no cracks. This is a big boy, and it is heavy. That's going to hold a lot of lemonade. Made by the Huntington Glass Company. This is mold number 45. They operated in Huntington, West Virginia. From 1892 until 1898, this was introduced to the public in January of 1892, also known as block and lattice or button and star. What else can I say? It is beautiful. Now that is what would be called, we think of the traditional ruby flashed, you know, that dark ruby color. And you can just see how absolutely beautiful. It has an applied handle. And I really studied this handle. There are no cracks on that handle. It is not chipped. Look at the bottom. Look at the top. It is absolutely lovely. It's heavy. And it is gorgeous. Norma, would you mind taking caps off, dear? If you're typing in capital letters, and if you'd be a sweetie and just put it down to the regular, that would be you'll get a candy cane in your box from me. It is ruby flashed. Okay, we're going to go ahead and count this one down because I do need to move along. And again, as I said, no chips or cracks, no damage. Introduced in 1892. Can you see this on your Christmas table? There's all the information that you need right there. And even a little bit more that I didn't read to you because I just don't want to get into all of that. This is so nice. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Huntington Glass Company, West Virginia. Oh my goodness. That, I'll tell you what, if you got flab under your arms, just serve everybody at Thanksgiving with this. No more flab. I don't have flab under my arms. Anyway, who cares? All right. So we'll wait just a second for the stop to go in there. And while we're waiting for the stop, I'm going to tease you with this. Oh my goodness. And wait till I tell you who the manufacturer is of that thing. All righty. The stop is in, and it is Rahab 23, I think. Now remember, everybody, it's very hard for me to keep track of all the names. And so, oh, it was Jenny at 85. Oh, Rahab said it was well worth 100. Well, then why didn't you bid 100? I'm kidding. Okay. It's Jenny at 85. I see it. Huh? What does that mean? That don't mean nothing. See, when you put, okay, never mind. It doesn't matter. Okay, so hold on for a second. Give me just a second. It is worth 100, Rahab, but Jenny gets it at 85. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny at 85. Excellent. Wonderful. Okay. No, you're fine. Don't apologize. There's no need. It's very easy because you got to remember, I'm talking and looking at you, and I have to look down here, and I have all these numbers and everything. It's just really easy to kind of sometimes get things out of order, but we're very relaxed here. $24 is where we're going to start on this next item. This starts at $24, and this thing is fantastic. Look at the color. Look at that yellow color. This is in the glass. This is sorry about that. This is just beautiful. Oh my goodness. Now this is another what you would be called stained, you know. That's not paint on there. Guess who made this? I was shocked. Heisey. Woo, that's a piece of Heisey. Okay, this is Heisey number 1235. The company operated in Newark, Ohio. They operated from 1896 until 1957. This was introduced in 1897. Think about that for a minute. Heisey went into business in 1896. This was in their 1897 catalog. That's the oldest piece of Heisey I've ever had in my hands. Also known as beaded panel and sunburst. Unbelievable. It's a comport or compote. You can call it either way. There it is, pictured right there with the measurements, documented. That's a different shape there, same pattern, but different shape. We can see the information right there, Heisey. This was added to the, thank you for reminding me, Karen. Yes, Karen and I added to the scholarship. We had this added to the database. So this actual piece is photographed and it's on the EAPG database under Karen's name. I wanted her to take credit for it. They didn't have a picture of it, and they didn't have it with this color. So they didn't know that this existed until I found it, and Karen and I got it put on the database. No chips or cracks on this piece of Heisey that was introduced during their second year of business. Does it has the hazy? No, there's no Heisey mark. I don't know that they were doing the H and the diamond at that time. Well, I didn't really look, to be honest, but no, I don't see it. I don't know when they started the H and the diamond, but that's not on here. We'll count this piece down. This is a great piece, everybody. I think Sherry Craddock has the opening bid of 40. This really belongs in the Heisey Museum, and there is one. The Heisey collectors would love to get their hands on that. I don't know where they are. They must, but hopefully this is going to go to somebody who appreciates early Heisey. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. For a piece of Heisey that was made the second year that the company was in business. And you're getting a piece that's on the database thanks to the work of me and Karen. I guess I just tooted our own horns. I didn't really mean to do that, but no, it's so much fun. And it's a great feeling to add something to the database like that. So we'll wait for the stop to come in there, and that might go to Kentucky Digger Steve. I don't see the stop yet, so we'll hold on for a second. There's the stop. And before the stop, I think Steve is our highest at 75. Kentucky Steve. I do have to say that it is, you know, when I go out shopping, I wasn't born with a good eye. You develop it through years of experience and through years of study and through years of handling it, holding it, studying it, feeling it, going to auctions, learning from other people. I owe so much to the old dealers, the old-timey dealers that are dead and gone now that I knew in my 20s who took me under their wings. They were in their 60s and 70s and 80s 40 years ago, and they taught me so much. And I have to say thank you to them. So thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Casper and Mr. and Mrs. Northam and all those people that taught me all these wonderful things years and years ago about glass. Oh my gosh, calm down. This one starts at $25. This is maybe one of the prettiest ones. I'm going to keep saying that, aren't I? One of the prettiest ones. It's now $9.19, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. Look at that. Look at that. My word. Is it chipped? It's not. Let's talk about it, but it starts at 25. Here's another one with ruby stain or ruby blush and gilded. They paid for this. Made by the United States Glass Company. It's number 15084 and a half. This is part of the States series. This is New Hampshire. New Hampshire. They had a whole series, Delaware, Connecticut, blah, blah, blah. But this is New Hampshire, the States series. And this was introduced in 1903. Remember, the United States Glass Company is the combine of 18 companies all brought together. This is the master berry bowl. Again, there would be 6 small berry bowls to go with it, which I don't have. There's the information. Okay, and just take a look at that. From the Edwardian era. What a beautiful piece of glass is that? From the United States Glass Company, introduced in 1903. The New Hampshire pattern. No chips or cracks. And it's a good 10 inches in diameter. 10. Can't you see that with your Christmas ornaments? Oh my gosh. In the center of the table with lights in it or a candle, Christmas ornaments. Oh my gosh. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Oh, wait till you see the next one. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Are you next? You are next. All right, get ready. Hold on, it's not your turn yet. Okay, boy, they're bidding for it. So we're going to give them a second before that stop gets in there. And there it is. Okay, Virginia. Nope, let me run my eyes up and down. I believe it's Virginial 7533. Got a lot of new folks here tonight, and I'm delighted. But just remember, all you new folk, you've got to email me, okay? So I get all your information. All right, so hold still. Hold on, everybody, because I need to get this down. And if you put stuff in there, it goes away too fast. Okay, 62. You know, I have to 7, 5, 3, 3. Okay. See, it takes me, I don't know if I've told you this, it takes me a little bit longer. One, I've got a horrible astigmatism in one of my eyes, and I'm always blinking and rolling my eyes to refocus. And I also have a slight dyslexia. So I got to blink my eyes to focus. Then I really have to look at every letter and every number. So that's why it takes me an extra minute there. And I don't really tell you guys that, but I just want you to know that. So I appreciate your patience. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. That is, put this back down here like that. So the next item is going to start at $23. we're going to have several butter dishes, but we're still dealing with the colored glass. We've got 4 more pieces of, oh my goodness. We've got about 4 more pieces here in colored glass. Look at this, starting at $23. Now I know that, and you know that these are butter dishes. Everybody get creative, and I don't mean that we have to talk a whole lot about it, but you can be creative with these, whether it's a cheese ball or whatever you plan on putting under there. That's number 16. Look at the bottom of that. This is ruby flashed. Just like the old souvenir. You know what I mean by ruby flashed. Just like that. You know what that is. There we go. There's the lid. Yes, I'll hold it still, but you need to let me get it up there. There it is. Okay, now this is, the pattern is called Atlanta, made by the Tarentum. I don't know how to pronounce that. Tarentum. Tarentum or Tarentum, whatever. But it's a town in Pennsylvania. I don't mean whatever, but I've never been there and I'm not sure how they pronounce it. But it's a company that operated from 1894 to 1918. And this was introduced in 1894, the first year for that company. Tarentum, AKA Diamond and Teardrops. And it's a butter dish. Wow. There were also cheese dishes. So butter, cheese, put in it what you like. Introduced in 1894. Isn't that? Turn it all the way around. That is such a beautiful piece of glass. I remember when I found this and held my breath, feeling it to see if it was damaged, and it's not. It's just not damaged. And I think a lot of you may know with the butter, with these, is that there is an inner rim here so that the butter, yeah, or cheese, if you're going to put that in there, stays in there, and the lid has a place to sit. But what an absolutely beautiful piece of glass. Counting it down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it on that. I don't think I'll ever have that again. Wow. You are something else. A few more pieces of color. Glass of color. We'll wait for the stop on that one, and then the next piece. I kind of feel bad for the next piece. Tell you why in a minute. Come here, next piece. Oh, come here. It's not that bad. Hold on now. The stop is in, and it looks like Yolanda. Hold on, everybody, because I got to write all of that down. At 72, or did let me let Karen confirm that. Poor Karen, she's working hard tonight. Oh, Kathleen. Oh, wait a minute. Kathleen was earlier. Okay, hold on. Let me scroll up. Let me scroll back up. Oh, I see Kathleen at 73. Sorry, Yolanda. 73. Kathleen. Thank you, everyone who was interested in that and who placed bids on it. I do appreciate it. And I've got Kathleen in there. Okay. Now, the next piece. It's not that. It's actually growing on me. The color, Now, this is not Vaseline glass. Okay. This starts at $16. There's nothing wrong with it. This came in so many different colors. I mean, oh my word. This is called Notched Border by Adelberry and Company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1850 to 1900. We don't know what date this was introduced, but the company ceased manufacturing in 1900, so it's at least that old. It's an odd color, not quite amber, now look, everybody, you've got to trust my eye. I'm looking at it right here. You all have different colors on your cell phones and your television sets, so it's going to look different to everybody. The color is going to look different to everybody, but in person, I promise you, when I saw this, Karen, should I tell them what I said it looked like? I don't know if I should. Nobody's going to bid on it. I better not say. But it's not really amber. It's not really topaz. It's not really yellow. It's just somewhere in between, and it is not Vaseline glass. It's just a funny little color. No, not baby poo. I kind of said it kind of looked like when a dog pees in snow. Now nobody's going to buy it. But it's just a funny little, odd little color. It's a pretty little thing from about 1900 or earlier. It's just a funny color. Look at the daisies. Okay, so I don't know. That's kind of what I thought it looked like. I know I'm tearing it up. So notched border. Oh, and I did go and look, and there were so many different colors. Maybe that's why the company went out of business. But yeah, way to sell it. Well, I mean, you know, I'm just being honest. Again, as I said, the color is going to look different to everybody, but here in person, I've handled enough amber, yellow, topaz. I've handled every color under the sun, and this is just weird. Something in between. Okay, well, a couple of you like it. And it's actually growing on me. It actually looks a little bit like the morning glow or sun glow or whatever it's called, that Indiana glass made in the 1930s. It's a little bit like that. A little bit like that color. So, but we'll count it down. 10, 9, and I'm amazed it's not chipped. 10, 9, and it's not chipped. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. All right, now you get over there. What number are you? You were number 17. Okay, you're next. Number 18, and you're number 19. Good. Okay, we're moving along. Ugly platter syndrome. Serve food for your mother-in-law on it. You guys are funny. There's the stop, and I don't know who got it, so let me back up. Don't put it in there. Let me back up, and I'll find it. Sherry Craddock outbid herself, but it's yours at 18, Sherry. I think it's Sherry Craddock. Sherry, I'm glad you like it. It's really not that bad. Might end up being extremely rare. Yeah, it might be. Give it to your mean sister. Okay, number 18. This is the United States glass pattern. And this one, boy, Karen, thank you, because we had to run around. This one starts at 20. Now, this one initially fooled both of us. Well, I think it fooled both of us initially. We took a look at it and said, oh, Delaware pattern. I know that. Comes in all these different colors. It's not the Delaware pattern. We took a closer look. And we said, oh, Karen, oh, Scott, that's not the Delaware pattern. That looks like something else because it's got cherries on it and all kinds of things. This is that ruby blush, right? 3-footed. Well, what is it? It's very pretty. Made by the United States Glass Company. This is mold number 15063. Bohemian is the original manufacturer's name. They operated in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from 1891 until 1962. And what was the last of the old factories that they kept open? It was Tiffin, that's right. This was introduced in 1900, the very same year that these Duncan pieces were introduced. What color is it? It's ruby with some gilding. Thank you for asking. So you see the ruby blush and with gold highlights. So it's really pretty. It's 4-footed. This again can be a this can be a master berry bowl. You can do anything you want with it. But it's absolutely beautiful. And it dates to 1900. Is that what I told you? Yep, introduced in 1900 by the newly formed conglomerate United States Glass Company. But we'll count this one down. And it really is pretty. Rose Flash, Maiden Blush. Yeah, they all had to come up with their own names. You know, they would patent their own names for colors. It's the same way Fenton did and all the companies did. You know, Celeste Blue, Peking Yellow, you know, Chinese Purple, whatever. They came up with all these funny names for marketing, the marketing technique. Thanks for putting that in, Karen. Let's count this down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. 1. And that's it for, well, there's one more piece of colored glass, but it's out of order, so we'll have to come back to it. Okay, that was number 18. I've only got one pedestal tonight, and that's it. She's pretty. We're going to have her next. That's number 19. So we're getting into the home stretch here. We might be finished by 10:30. We might be. Let's see. Oh, we didn't have any. I don't think the stop is in there yet. Okay, Florida Golden, I think, is our high bidder right now at 80. And there's the stop. Florida, it's yours at 80. What a beautiful one. Thank you, Florida. Golden girl. Florida Golden girl. Okay, I thank you so much for that. As I said, I've only got one cake stand, and here she is. This one is going to start at $20. I'm telling you what, it's not easy to jumble all of this. I wish you could see. I wish there was somebody filming me while I'm doing, like, so you could actually see what this looks like all around me. Oh, it's insane. Okay. I should have said something different than insane. It's daunting. This piece right here is the cake stand. This starts at $20. Dalzell Brothers and Gilmore glass, mold number 23D by the manufacturer. Also known as, and they operated in Wellsburg, West Virginia from 1883 to 1888. This was introduced in 1887. And it starts at 20. This was introduced in 1887. Also known as Quaker Lady or scalloped prism band. And there it is. There's all that info that I just gave you. And it is chip and crack free. And it's a cake stand. And it is, you can get a 9-inch cake in there in diameter. 9-inch in there. This is just beginning to turn purple. We know what that means. This was in sunlight, and it just has the slightest tint of purple to it. Slightest. You know, among glass collectors, that's the beginning of ruining a piece. It is considered damaged when it has the sun damage. Now, I know that people like it. I like it. But in the collecting world, for this to be turning purple, that is considered damage. I would say it's maybe 5%, 5 to 8% just at the beginning of that purple. Keep it out of the sun and it won't turn any more purple than that. If you want it to turn purple, put it out in the sun, you know. So we're not arguing over whether we like it or not, but you go to a glass convention with EAPG that's turning purple, and it will be considered damaged. But it's pretty nonetheless, and it just has the slight purple tint. And I think Karen picked up on that. Could see it. Again, it'll take a 9-inch cake from side to side, the diameter. And this was introduced, it's the only one I've got for you tonight, 1887. 10, 9, do we have a bid? We do. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. What? Jenny, I don't know what to say. I'll talk to him. Is there a problem? I see that. Is there a problem? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on that cake stand. Okay, we'll put that right there. Okay, and let me move this over here, and we'll wait for the stop to come in. If I miss anything, Karen will tell me, and I go back and I read the transcript anyway to make sure I didn't miss anything. I can't see everything as the chat goes by and do all of this. I'm not trying to ignore anybody, but I don't. All right, anyway. Patsy M at 62. Quaker Lady. I love that name. 62. Patsy. Patsy M at 62. Put that up there. Woo! Let me go back to my 1900. This is just cola. The cheap stuff. Okay, the stop is in and it's Patsy M at 62. Thank you, Patsy. I appreciate the bid on that. All right, I guess if there was a problem, Karen would have told me. So we'll just keep going. Duncan and Sons, what's next? Number 20. Number 20. Okay, number 20 is, oh, well, that was worked out perfectly. These. Look at that. Now, I'm drinking out of one right now. I'll finish it. And I'll wash it before I mail it to you. That I've got 6 of them, a set of 6. And these start at $20 for a set of 6 of them. My goodness. This is Duncan and Sons, George and Company, number 45. Washington, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1893 until 1900 under that name. Now we know Duncan continued with the different, it was reformed. These were introduced in 1900, and I have 6 of them. They didn't call it anything except number 45. But it's also known as starred loop. And look at that original catalog page with the drawing. Now we don't see this, but there's the pattern. And I'll just quickly read to you what it says. And these can be for, you know, No, this isn't the same as any picture that I had earlier tonight. I don't think. No, it doesn't, Norm. Whoever said that. This doesn't match any of the pictures that I had earlier. It might look like it, but I didn't have any picture that matched this. My goodness, is that wind? What was that? We've had some awful blustery weather here. Anyway, I'm just going to read this to you really quick right here. It's not the same. I don't have a picture that was wheat and star. This is Duncan and Sons, number 45. I know it looks like wheat. It does. That's what I think it looks like too. Well, I won't read it because it takes too much time. Anybody who wins this will get this original advertisement with all that information on there. Okay, so we'll count these down. Remember, there's 6 of them in there. They probably holds about 8 ounces. They're 6 inches tall. Very blustery on Halloween. It was wonderful, and I'm hearing all this creaking and things. But it's funny because Karen and I were talking about. We both live in 100-year-old houses. And when you live in an old house, as soon as you turn the heat on and the house starts heating up, the house starts talking to you because boards expand and old lath and plaster cracks. And boy, the house really starts talking to you from basement to attic. And so it's a good thing I'm not creeped out by that. Doesn't bother me at all. But my house has really been talking to me since I've turned the heat on. Thank you to my mother for gifting me that HVAC. 10. I don't think I have to say anything else about this. Do we have a bid? I saw the number 100. I want to make sure that is a bid. Let me double check on that. Oh, excuse me. Rising Phoenix 6991 has a bid of 100. And we'll count these down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. The winner of these will have 6 of these to drink out of. Manufactured in the year 1900. And I've got to remember to finish what I'm drinking so I can get that one in the box as well. The stop is in, and at 100, they are going to Rising Phoenix. And I thank you for your bid, and I thank everyone for your bids and your participation tonight. Thank you, everyone. I know it's 10 of 10. Yeah, we're going to go till, is it okay if we go till 10:30, quarter of 11? Let's keep going. Guess how many of these I've got? Now, there are cherries on there, and I'm going to hold it up against my vest so you can see it a little bit better. But let me tell you, I have 11 of these. 11 of these. Don't say what a shame that one of them is broken. No. Let's pretend you have a set of 10 and you put the 11th one away. So when Uncle Henry has a little too much and he breaks one, you say, oh, I got another one. Okay. These were introduced in 1870. Oh, my word. There it is. That's actually a better picture of it. There it is. And I've got 11 of them. Did I tell you where they start? I don't even think I told you. We're starting at $35 on these. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I don't think I put that in there. Now, I've got something special to tell you. Not only will you receive 11 of these, but you're also going to get a matching, what is that? Well, obviously, you can't drink out of it. It's not tall enough to be a celery, so what is it? So you're getting 11 of the water or wine glasses and we're going to throw that in. Is it a spooner? Looks like it. This pattern is called Cherry. It was made by Blackwell Piers and Company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1807 until 1882, and they introduced this pattern. They introduced this pattern in the 1870s. Hey, Karen, guess what? I have 2 spooners. I'm only going to give one of these away. The other spooner is in my basement. So what are you getting? You're getting 11 of the stems, and you're getting 1 spooner with it. I'm going to throw that in there. Well, I won't throw it, but you know what I mean. And I promised I'd stand up so that you could maybe see it a little bit better up against my dark vest, right? From the 1870s, there are cherries on here. See them? That's the only design on it. And it's 35, whatever I said the opening thing was. Come on now, because we're going to move along if there's no interest in these. And so you get 11 of these, and you'll get a spooner with it. This would hold spoons on the dining room table. And introduced in the 1870s. Cherry. Cherry. Okay, no interest. We're going to give it another second, and then we'll throw the hard stop in there. No, we do have a bid at $38. I see it. I see it. I see it. $38. We have a bid for 11 of these stems from the 1870s and a spooner. Counting them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. It is amazing, Randy. I bought these from an estate, and I think that's why they stayed together. Can you imagine? I did go to an estate, and it was an old house, and these were in it, and I bought everything in that estate sale. And I think these remained in a family in one house. It was an old Victorian house, and these were in it. So that family probably had 12 of them, and they probably broke one, and that's why they only had 11 left. But I bought all 11, including 2 spooners. But I'm only going to add 1 spooner into that lot. Okay, there's the stop, and it's PA Buzzard at 48. PA Buzz. Thank you, PA Buzzard at 48. I appreciate it. Okay, we're really doing okay, and we're moving along very nicely here. We're going to be able to get this puppy done before 11 o'clock, although it is almost 10. We're going to keep on going, probably in a buffet cabinet. Yeah, it was probably in a china closet somewhere, and they've been in that house probably since they were new. Everything around here is old. Okay, this is the last piece that I've got in color for tonight. Get out of there. Your first spooner. All right, PA Buzzard, and you didn't even know you were going to be getting one. I've added it to that. It's the same pattern, so it should stay. Isn't that pretty? You're all going to recognize that pattern, and you're going to say, oh, that's from the 50s. We had that. Well, that's not from the 50s. You're welcome. That starts at $17. How are we doing, Karen? Woo! I wish we lived next to each other. We'd go out and have an ice cream cone when this thing is over. Rum raisin. You recognize King's Crown or Thumbprint. Yeah, that's an old one. Very elegant picture. And that's the only one I've got. That's the last piece of the Ruby Flash. And the Ruby Flash is in great shape, as you can see. This stands, oh golly, 8 inches tall. It's lovely. And by Adams and Company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, they operated from 1861 until 1891. What happened in 1891? You already know. This was introduced in 1891 when they became a part of the United States Glass Conglomerate. Also known as Excelsior, King's Crown, King's Crown thumbprint, XLCR spelled out in trade journals is Excelsior. Now that's the original manufacturer's name for it. Yeah, Karen, I was saying it just as Karen was putting it in. Great minds think alike, or twisted minds think alike. Anyway, there it is, and that's the old stuff. Okay, Adams and Company only made this pattern in clear. It was continued as at Factory A with the ruby stain. Now remember, so Adams made it in clear, right? They become part of the conglomerate U.S. Glass in 1891, right? Factory A, because they were very methodical. It was Adams country, so they called it Factory A because of Adams. If it was Bryce, they would call it Factory B. Gilmore, Factory G, and so forth. You get the idea. So it was U.S. Glass that went ahead and flashed it in 1891. They made different colors as well. Let's count this down. 10. The high bid right now is 60. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Good night, somebody. Good night, Carmen. Good night, Carmen. Hope you're doing well and you enjoyed your trip. Would have matched my cordials. It could, because remember, that still was hugely popular in the 1950s, made by a whole different. Oh. All right, wait a minute. Stop. Hello, fresh ads keep popping up on the chat. Anybody else? I don't know, because I pay to not watch ads. I pay for premium, YouTube premium. So I don't know, Randy, if they do or if they don't. I don't know if Sherry Craddock came in before or after the stop. Let's hit the refresh on that. If I do that, I have to go out and change the. Okay. So that one is. Is it Yolanda at 68? Okay, thank you. 68. We're almost done. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only have 10 items left. We'll go. Yeah, right. We'll go as fast as we can. Yolanda. Oh, wait a minute. It was Yolanda something. Hold on, let me back up. It wasn't just Yolanda. It was Yolanda something. Yolanda Shepery something. Sherpy. Sherpy. I have to be so careful. Anytime anybody gives me a telephone number, I have to say 2, 3, 1, repeat it, write it down. Between my astigmatism and this little bit of dyslexia, I twist numbers, letters. You know, I often write the word book, and instead of a B, I start out, if it's I'll turn it the other way, the B. You know, I just turn letters and numbers. I can't, it's just, your brain does it. So that's why I appreciate your patience and your understanding that this takes me a little bit longer to get it all straightened out. And it's really a mess. But I often do that. Okay. Could be worse. I'm not complaining. Okay, we got 3 butter dishes. Let's fly through these because we all know what a butter dish is, right? They look like that. I got 3 of them. Now, these are not toys. These are adult size. But look, don't you tune out yet. I still have the most amazing silver mounted cream and sugar. We have a whole bunch of buttons and bows. And I'm going to sing my song, Karen, Daisy and Buttons and Bows. And we've got some other glass I think you're going to just love. But starting at $23, on this next item. And I do realize that it is 2 minutes before 10 o'clock. And if you guys have to scram, we still have 355 people here. So I'm delighted that everyone is still here, that so many of you are still here. But if you need to tune out, I totally get that. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. We'll be done by 10:30. Let's do number 23. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yes, how about that? It starts at 23 and it is number 23. Well, that worked out well. Come here to me. Okay, covered butter. Here we go. Loop-de-loo. Wiltec is the name of the pattern by McKee and Jeanette Company. McKee Glass Company of Jeanette, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1904 until 1954. This one is introduced in 1905. The original production of McKee's press cut patterns was clear glass only. Does this say press cut? This one might and it might not. I don't know what year they started putting press. I don't think as early as 1905 they put press cut, no. But, yep, that is McKee. That's McKee all day long. Look at the bottom of it. Love it. Butter dish. And this one starts at $23. There's the bottom of it. This is McKee. There's the top of it. Chip free, crack free, and these match. When I'm in the stores, I often find a lid and a base that don't match. I don't buy them. I buy them when the lid matches the base, as we've got here. So starting at $23 for this butter, we have an opening bid of $23, and I'm counting it down. Again, introduced in 1905. There it is. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it for that one. Oh my goodness. Ooh, I forgot to put this in here. I don't want to lose that. If I lose that, boy, I'm up the, you know what without a what. I'll be up it all right. Okay. There's the stop, and it's going to go to Lucas, Mr. Lucas, at 23, at 37. I don't know why I said 23. 37. Lucas. Lucas. Now remember, everybody, again, as I said, if I don't know you, I'm going to need you to email me, or I can't. If you don't hear from me by tomorrow night, you got to email me, because that means I don't have your info, and you might think I have it. And just because you buy something off of eBay doesn't mean I have it. This one also starts at 23. How do I know it's McKee? I know it's McKee because it's listed on the database as a piece of McKee. So that piece is a documented McKee pattern. And we know that from old trade magazine, old trade catalogs for hotel and restaurant. And I can't remember right off the top of my head the name of all those trade magazines that were not magazines, but catalogs that went out to buyers who would buy for department stores or jewelry stores or that kind of thing. This one starts again at $23. I don't know if I put that in there. You're welcome, Lucas. This one is number 24. Yes, good. Okay, this is a pretty one too. Look at that base. And look at that lid. Look at the top of that lid. Isn't that a pretty one? Okay, so there's another one. Absolutely stunning. United States Glass Company, number 15055. This is, the pattern is called Minnesota. That's the original manufacturer's name, Minnesota. This is made in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The company operated from 1891 until 1962, as you well know. This was introduced in 1898. AKA Minnesota. This is from the States series. This pattern has a toothpick and a match holder, both used as advertising pieces. I don't have them. Lovely. Let's count it down. We do have a bid, I think. Julie has a bid of 28. Okay. Introduced in 1898. United States Glass Company. 10. That's a pretty one. It's another beautiful one. What would you do with these? But if you didn't put a hunk of butter in it or a cheese ball, candy, one big stewed tomato, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That might be, that might be a bonus. Oh, a grapefruit. A grapefruit would be a wonderful thing to serve. Can you imagine if you had a bed and breakfast and everybody had an antique butter dish with a grapefruit in it? Good idea. Whoever that was. Anyway, there's the stop, and I don't know who got it. Let me back up. I think that sold for $30 to, oh, let me get all that written down. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, 30, and that went to no, that went to Evelyn Hill. Okay, I think. ELLY, or Ellie Hill, 1947 at $30. Christmas pudding. Okay, come on now. That's pretty. Boy, that looks like peacock feathers. That one doesn't look like those other two, does it? No, it does not. This one starts at $23 as well. Guess who made this one? If I tell you that the company started business in 1891, you guessed it, United States Glass Conglomerate. Look at that. Look at that lid. I love it. Peacock feathers, isn't it? Let's hold on to it. United States Glass Company, number 15076. This is the Georgia pattern. That's the original manufacturer's name, Georgia. United States Glass Conglomerate, as you know, 1891 to 1962. This was introduced in 1902. It's also known as Peacock Eye, Peacock Feather, and the States series. A little bit of trivia for you. This is the last pattern associated with the United States, Georgia. Okay, States series. There it is. Butter, cheese, honey. Look, see it? Isn't that pretty? United States Glass, Georgia, 1902. P. Buzzard has, hi everyone, I'm so late. Gosh, hi Karen. Yeah, it is a good name, Peacock. Count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Now this next piece is a commemorative. I'm excited about it. Okay, we're waiting for stop to come in on that one. And that might be Sherry Craddock at 37. It might be Sherry Craddock at 37. Norma has a bid of 38. Norma's might have come in. You're still 9 minutes late. That clock has been in my family since it was brand new. Did I tell you that? Let's see if it's Sherry Craddock at 37 or if Norma got it. Sherry is first at 37. Okay, thank you, Sherry. You know what? This glass now, saved from whatever, and now it's going all over the country, and it has another life, and I'm so delighted and so thrilled, you know, that it's still going to have another life. Okay. Thank you, everyone who placed bids on that. I really do appreciate it. Let's go on to this piece here, which starts at $25. Ooh, we have a commemorative. Look, that looks like a queen in the middle, doesn't it? Well, the date on it says 1837. This isn't that old. Now, I will say there are surface scratches on this. This was really used. Let me tell you about this, but I'll hold it up because I want you to be able to see it. There are some surface scratches because this was used. And this piece is called Jubilee. Original manufacturer's name, made by the Nova Scotia Glass Company, Trenton, Nova Scotia. The company operated from 1881 until 1890. This was introduced in 1887. This is a Queen Victoria commemorative, 1887. So there she is. That's not what she looked like in 1887. That might be what she looked like in 1837. So this was for the Jubilee, yeah. Which wouldn't be, so we're not surprised why it comes from Nova Scotia. But I guess that's the only non-American piece. So I wonder why this made it to the, I guess because the American, this could have been available also for the American market. But we'll go all the way around it. You can see there's a shield and a crown and some leaves and another shield and another royal, bunch of royal stuff. And there she is. Oh, get her up the right way. Okay, there she is. And we can see down here, where is it? 1837, which I guess is the year she and Albert, the year she goes to the throne, and then her Jubilee is in 1887, and this commemorates that. So this has no chips or cracks on it, and I just think it's just fantastic. So if you are a, is it Anglophile? Is an Anglophile somebody who, well, I'll tell you what. I think Anglophile is either people who like to study the royal family or they like to go fishing. Which is it? I don't know. An Anglophile, right? What's a fisher? People who fish. An Anglo, I guess, never mind. It's late. I'm tired. Anyway, you know, count it down, Scott, and just get this show over with. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Angler. Yeah. So an angler is a fisherman, and an Anglophile likes British stuff. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. All right. We really are almost finished. And this is delightful. We're not going to be here till 11 o'clock. I say that, but look what I still have to do. Okay, who does that go to? That goes to there's the stop, and Sherry Craddock gets it at 30. So Sherry, you just won 2 in a row, if I have that right. Okay, all right. I know how much you guys love you some Daisy and Button. Let's do it. Boy, we got some interesting things here for you. Starting at 25. This is number 27, Karen, and you knew that. I'm going to have 3 pieces in this pattern. 3 pieces. Here's the first one. Wow. What is it? Hobbs, this starts at 25. Hobbs, Braconier and Company, number 101. In Wheeling, West Virginia, they operated from 1845 to 1888. This was introduced in 1884. This is part of an ice cream set. That's the ice cream tray, and they would have small individuals to go with it. Also known as Daisy and Button, Star, Type 1 Celery Yacht. Yeah. So here's the picture of it. That's the tray there. And see all the little individual for ice cream? Okay, so that's what it's called. And in a minute, we're going to have the water tray. But that's the ice cream. This is big. Let me measure it for you. And this one measures 9 by 14. 9 by 14. Wow, look at that. And if you think that's gorgeous, look what's coming up in just a minute. Can you believe I've got the water tray to go with it? There's the ice cream, and there's the water tray. But right now, we're just doing the ice cream tray. And it's not chipped. Wow. Introduced in 1884. And I got these out of an estate, and these were together as well. I believe I got both of these pieces together. Maybe all 3 of them. Count this down. 10. Boy, can't you see your meatloaf on that? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the 1884 Hobbs number 101 ice cream. All right, that was number 27. Come here, number 28. Get over here. I'm not messing with you. We got stuff to do. And you know, tomorrow morning I'm going to be up at 7 o'clock, showered, shaved, dressed, in the car at 8:30, back in those thrift shops at 9 a.m. You know I will. All right. That one, Patsy McCarthy gets it at 89. I think that's who we have. Patsy M. Congratulations, Patsy. I appreciate that. So the water tray would, the water pitcher would sit here. This is the larger. Okay, so we'll move on to this one. I know it's a funny shape, isn't it? This one also starts at $25. Good question. Karen, I'll let you tell everybody about the water tray. It's a little and so here's the picture of it, and the measurements, they're right on here. 12.5 by 12.5. There's the water. Yeah. Okay, so again, Hobbs and Company number 101, Wheeling, West Virginia, 1845 to 1888. This is circa 1884 is when it was introduced. 1884. AKA, also known as Daisy and Button. But remember, Hobbs didn't call it that. They just called it Mold 101. And guess what? I got a third piece in 101. That'll be the last one. So this is the water tray. And this sits like this. And the water pitcher could sit here in this larger area. Should we count this down? 10. 10, 9, no chips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. This came out of an old New Jersey estate. I think, what town was I in? Not too far from, I can't remember what town I was in. But remember, this is one of the original 13 colonies. Everything here is old. And I'm getting old right along with it. Happy to say that. Okay, I can't remember the name of the little bowl. Oh, yeah. Number 29. Okay, let's do this next. We're going to wait. The stop is in LLMIF. No, it's Lucas. No, wait a minute. Is Lucas my winner at 57? I think so. 57 L. It's Lucas 1155 1155. Lucas gets it. Okay, congratulations. Thank you, Lucas. Here's the last piece. This is number 29. We're just going to start this little guy out at 18. Same pattern. All right, you start at 18. Now, what did that start off as in life? A plate. Yeah. So the gatherer, and when I look at the census for my great-grandfather, when he started out as a boy, age 12, doing things around the factory, then he gets older, and in the census in the 1890s, he's listed as a gatherer in a glass house as his career. The gatherer is over at the glory hole with the molten glass. Yeah, the gatherer has to get the right amount of glass, the right consistency, the right temperature. Then he takes it, yeah, to the blower, and then there's a finisher. Well, this would start off as a plate, and then the finisher would have wooden paddles. And what would he do? Bend up the sides and turn this into a little tricorn bowl. And so this is Hobbs, again, number 101, Wheeling, West Virginia, 1845 to 1888. This was introduced in 1884, also known as Daisy and Button. United States Glass Company tripod. That would simply mean that it was, yeah. So there it is, and there's the picture of it right there. I know it's hard to tell. These are old drawings from old catalogs. Yeah. And by the way, my grandfather worked his way up to shift supervisor, from the little boy who swept the floor, age 12, to an old man in a suit and tie at the head, and was supervisor of a shift at the glass house, but and worked there all his life. So we'll count this little guy down, and there are no chips. There's no damage on this one at all. And that's that last piece. Same line, same company, same everything. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. There's nothing more boring than listening to somebody else ramble on about their family history. So I appreciate you letting me share that with you. I really do. I'm not going to ramble on about that anymore. What's this? Oh. All right, Karen. Oh, the stop is in. Oh, who got that one? Wait a minute. P buzzard at 23 gets that one. Okay. 23. P-A buzzard, I think. Karen, should you tell them or should I? Didn't we get this added to the database? I think we did. I think this is another one that we added to the database. Maybe not, but this, I was wrong. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I do something wrong every day. I know. We start at $30. Let me tell you why I was wrong, but let's tell you what this is. Starting at 30, Duncan, George and Sons, number 800, Cottage, as in cheese, was the original manufacturer's name. They operated from 1874 to 1891. This was introduced in 1884. Note, cottage pieces are threaded, so a silver plate base can be screwed on. So these are threaded, right? We can unscrew this. I'm not going to do it because this is very soft. It's all original. I found these in a thrift store. Now remember, I didn't put it in. Did I not put it in? I didn't put it in. Oh, shame on you. These start at 30. I didn't put that in there. And I've just told you that these were introduced in 1884 by Duncan. That is a cream and a sugar open, not a spooner. I think we determined that. Now let me tell you, I found these in a thrift store and I bought them. And then I sat in the car and I was looking at them and looking at them and looking at them. And I said, you know what? I think I just got duped. I think this is some cheap crap from the 1960s. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I hadn't eaten lunch. And so I kept looking at them and looking at them and looking at them. And then Karen and I were looking at them and we were saying, wait a minute, let's take a closer look at these. Look at the work on the base. Right? And then we got into the database and found out that they did not have these. Is that right? Isn't that right, Karen? Didn't we get these added to the database? Oh, spooner. Well, what did I say? Sugar? Thank you for correcting me. So if I remember correctly, we got these added to the database. She says yes. So these are pictured. And this is the threaded foot base. I think I said that because even though that's advertised as the spooner, these are the same size, and there's no reason why you couldn't use these on the table as a cream and sugar so that you have, but, you know, good luck finding a sugar bowl with a lid with the silver mount, with the silver plated mount on the bottom. Good luck. The pattern is number 800 and it's called Cottage, Cottage. That's the original manufacturer's name. And these do have the screwed on attached base. And just as Karen is saying, good luck if you're going to try to find these. I was very happy to be wrong, but taking a much closer look, you know, in the car, they're in a plastic bag, they're dirty. You know, you get them home, you wash them, you get out in the sunlight, and you go, wait a minute, this is something good. Count them down. 10, 9, 8. These are on the database. You're not going to find these again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 1884, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And we've only got 2 more items. It's 10:29. It is going to be 10:45, but we are going to wrap it up. It's hard to see them when it's moving around and getting too close to the camera, then bouncing around. Well, I'm sorry, Carol. I do have a lot of energy and I do move a lot. But you can ask me to try to hold them a little more still. Oh, the stop isn't in yet. There it is. Okay, Rhonda K. Okay, wait a minute. I think it's Rhonda. RHONDA. Wait a minute. There it goes. Everybody's saying congratulations, and it makes the chat move up so fast. I had to go back and find it. Rhonda K4D. Okay, no problem. Rhonda K4D. It just takes me a minute longer, as I said, to write things down. Okay, got it. Okay. I'll try to hold the next 2 things still now that we're done. Okay. 2 more items and we can go to bed. Next, we have the railroad. This starts at 18. This starts at $18. All right, there's the 18, and we'll throw it in there. I love this thing. And I will stand up and hold it still, and I'll put it in front of my vest so you can see it. But let me read what it says. Railroad, original manufacturer's name by Cooperative Flint Glass Company of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. They operated from 1879 to the 1930s. This was introduced in 1882. This was patented on July the 4th, 1882. 4th of July, 1882. And look at that steam locomotive coming down the path. I'll turn it this way so you can try to see it in the light. How about that? Isn't that fantastic? I love it. And Pennsylvania was such an important state in railroad history. I'm sure many of you know that. Isn't that something else? Look at it. See it? Wait, can I pay what? I don't know what that little squiggle, I don't know what that means, Pennsylvania buzzard. So 10, should we count it down? I still don't understand. There's weird stuff on there. Can I pay 18.82 upside down question mark? I'm not sure what all that is, Pennsylvania buzzard. I'm sorry. There it is. There's the info. But we'll count it down. There's the choo-choo train. Never mind. Is that what NVM means? Okay. 10. I'm sorry if I missed something. I just don't know what that is. I guess it's just YouTube being weird. 10, 9, 8. This was introduced in 1882. 1882. That's okay, PA. It's late. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. One more thing, and we're going to say our prayers and go to bed. This last thing is funny, but let's see who won number 31, Choo Choo Train. That goes to okay, is it Rhonda again at 57? I think Rhonda just won 2 items in a row. Is that right? I can't believe we still have 305 people here. I'm so happy everyone is. I am really, honestly, genuinely thrilled that you guys love this glass. We're going to sell the last item, but before I do, thank you, thank you, thank you. There's not much else I can really say. Thank you. And Karen, one of these days we'll get together and we'll go out and we'll have some macaroni and cheese. Okay. The last item that I have for you tonight is this funny little thing. And I told you that we were going to talk about Jenny Lind. Now, the trivia question is, a lot of you have heard of the Jenny Lind bed. Who was Jenny Lind? Don't Google it. And how did the bed get its name? Well, me being a musician and a music major in college and loving music, I knew who Jenny Lind was just from, she was a Swedish opera singer. She came to America in the 1850s and she was something else. I think she even sang for President Lincoln. She is reported to have enjoyed sleeping in what was called spool beds at that time. You know the kind of bed I'm talking about. And she was so popular that they were naming Jenny Lind anything. Marketing. It became known as the Jenny Lind, L-I-N-D, bed, because it was a bed, style of bed that she liked sleeping in, reportedly. I don't think that looks much like Jenny Lind. I have seen photographs of her, paintings rather. Sadly, and this starts at $18. Sadly, her voice was never recorded. She died before Mr. Edison was making his earliest recordings in the 1870s. So we don't know we don't have any record of her voice, if I remember correctly. This is also known as Jenny Lind, but the real name is Opera. Manufactured by Adams and Adams. This was introduced in the 1880s. It's also known as Actress or Jenny Lind or Pinafore. And you'll notice we have this, not Minerva, but we've got a woman in the middle. That doesn't really look like Jenny Lind. And it says, Love's request is pickles. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a pickle dish. Isn't that funny? Yep. You put pickles on that lady's face. She kind of looks like she's been sucking pickle juice, doesn't she? She doesn't look very... Oh, well, I just shouldn't make fun of her. Poor thing. Anyway, Love's request. Can you see it? Is pickles. And there she is. All right. Oh, let me sit myself back down. You are a Jenny and you like pickles? Yeah, that's right. The company had a whole series of opera patterns. Yep. Yeah, so there she is. Yes, she was called the Swedish Nightingale. That's right, Karen Taylor. You are correct in that. This starts at $18, and Patsy McCarthy has the opening bid of $18. Let's count the pickle dish down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love's request is pickles. And that's going to do it. That's the last piece we're going to offer up for the night. Although I still have 80 more pieces on the floor. I'm going to spend the next I guess I have to write down, and that goes to, I guess, Lucas at 27. Mr. Biderbeck, you just came in right at the very, very end there. I guess it's Lucas at, okay, I know we're going to start losing yeah, we're already down to 260. Everybody's going to bed. I understand. Let me write this down and we'll say goodbye. Wait, is it Lucas? Okay. Lucas gets it at 27. Lucas. Let me just take care of some business, everybody, and we'll say goodnight. Thank you. I am going to work on invoices again, as I said, tomorrow, but it very well could be late in the afternoon. And I didn't do the invoices for everybody from the Halloween sale Friday night, just in case. So I'm going to do all the invoices tomorrow. I'm going to work on them. I'm going to get my laptop. I'm going to go thrifting in the morning, take my laptop to a coffee shop and sit there and work on it. It'll take me a couple of hours. Then Wednesday, start packing it all up. There will be a third. No, this was the third. There will be a fourth extravaganza. I just don't know when. I will say this, that coming up on a week from tonight, David and me, the two chaps, please join us. 2 weeks from tonight, my Christmas glass live sale, which won't be antique EAPG, but it'll be a lot of mid-century, 1920s, 30s, 40s glass, in red and green, Christmassy, traditional Christmassy green colors. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Karen. This has been so much fun to do this and to collaborate with all of this on you. And thank you for helping me save a part of our American culture, our American history. Not only is this important to me from family history, but remember, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents were delighted to buy this glass, and how excited they were back in those days just to have something glitter on their tables. We can't even imagine today, with the abundance that we have, how special it was for people in the 1870s and 80s and 90s just to own a few pieces of this glass. Now you get out there into those thrift shops. You can find it. Yes, you can. Go and get yourself a couple of good books. Get on that database. You need a new hobby. Come on. Winter is coming. I don't want you to feel like you're getting the winter blues. Oh, I'm all alone and I don't have anything to do. Hush. Go out to the thrift stores and start finding this glass and tell me about it. Send me an email with a picture and say, oh, Scott, look, I found this. You'll love it. Good night, everyone, and thank you. We'll see you the next time around. Bye-bye. Good night. Thank you. It's always hard to say goodbye, but goodbye. I'll give it a second because I know some of you want to say goodbye to each other in the chat section, and we'll let you do that before I turn it off. And Karen, don't you go to bed. You know I'm calling you right away. Let me finish this Coca-Cola. It's flat now. I got to go wash it. Good night, all. Thank you. Oops. Boop. Oh, I still didn't do it. Boop.